President Uhuru Kenyatta grooming Gideon Moi for the presidency? What about Raila Odinga? Is Raila Odinga being taken for a ride? Is he being betrayed? Because one thing we know for sure is that President Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to support his deputy, William Samoei Ruto, for the presidency in 2022, as he promised. Is he grooming Gideon Moi? And I've always opined on this platform severally that if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to be given a choice between Gideon Moi and Raila Odinga, he would make that choice without thinking twice. He would choose Gideon Moi over Raila Odinga anytime, any day. The only thing stopping the president from doing that is the fear of Raila Odinga working with William Samoei Ruto. And that's why I want you to take the statement by Uhuru Odinga seriously. I want us to do a comprehensive analysis on this topic today. Is President Uhuru Kenyatta grooming Gideon Moi for the presidency in 2022? Because we agree, all of us, that Gideon Moi is a project of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And personally, I believe that the president is going to endorse him for the presidency in 2027. And that's why Raila Odinga is being in the picture here. But a lot of developments have been happening in this country. Now, before we go further, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two, click subscribe button now. Numbers don't lie. Just click subscribe button now. And to the subscribers, please, the way munafanya normally, just give this video thumbs up. Now, a lot of events have been happening in this country. And just like I keep on saying on this platform, that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything is normally well planned, well executed to achieve specific political objectives. Number one, there was this memorial service for the former president, Daniel Orita Moi, that was on 4th of February in Kabarak. That event at Kabarak was attended by President Uhuru Kenyatta himself. It was attended by Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetang'ula, and Gideon Moi was actually the host. Very important. Raila Odinga did not attend that event. Of course, William Ruto was not invited. But the absence of Raila Odinga raised a lot of questions. Why was Raila Odinga absent from that event? Because the organizers of the event included Raila Odinga in the program. Even in the newspaper, Raila Odinga was expected at that event. But Raila Odinga on that particular day did not attend that event. Instead, he went to Kajiado and he was hosted by the governor, Olelenko. Why do you think Raila Odinga missed that event? It's because of some tension amongst the group. Uhuru Kenyatta is elevating the status of Gideon Moi. So Raila Odinga did not attend that event. And what do you think these guys discussed in a room? Because let's face it, there was President Uhuru Kenyatta, there was Gideon Moi, there was Kalonzo Musyoka, then there was Moses Wetang'ula, then there was Musalia Mudavadi. These guys in a single room, maybe in a living room, just discussing or talking about themselves. What do you think they were talking about? If not their past in Kanu, their future, even in the 2022 presidential elections. Because wote ni watoto wa Nyayo. So that event was very important. Then there was the second event. I'm not going to put them as per the order how they happened, but I'm just going to explain to you some of these events. There was this event at State House. in which President Uhuru Kenyatta invited Kalonzo Musyoka, Charity Ngilu, Raila Odinga, Moses Wetang'ula, Gideon Moi, and Musalia Mudavadi. After the county assemblies had passed overwhelmingly the Building Bridges Initiative bills at the assemblies. That event, for those who followed it, and I think I did a video on that, Raila Odinga was not very happy at that event. Because normally I'm very keen on studying the body language. So Raila Odinga was not very happy at that event. And in my considered opinion, that event was actually meant to achieve three things. The first thing, it was meant to elevate Gideon Moi. Remember, Baringo County had voted no to the document. So here these guys are. Then Gideon Moi is given the privilege of reading the statement on behalf of other leaders. Personally, I believe that the person who ought to have read this document would have been Raila Odinga. Because Raila Odinga carried this particular BBI on his back. He is also the senior most there. But I'm sure if they were in a room, they were asked, who do you think we should allow to read this document? Probably the rest voted for Gideon Moi. Because Gideon Moi, they wanted to elevate his status. The second thing from that particular meeting, it was intended to deny Raila Odinga the credit or the BBI credit. If there is one individual who has carried the Building Bridges Initiative burden, it was Raila Odinga. In fact, at some point, the document became so unpopular. Assuming this document was rejected, the person who would have carried the burden or the blame would have been Raila Odinga. But because it was a success, it was decided that now all of them, even people who contributed nothing to the bill, to the passage of the bill, were now paraded to take credit for that. So Raila Odinga was denied the opportunity to take the credit for this particular Building Bridges initiative at the county assemblies. And I think also number three, that the idea was basically to bring on board other NASA principles on the table, especially on the handshake. The handshake was between two people, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. That handshake gave birth to the Building Bridges Initiative process. Hope tunaelewana. Please give this video a thumbs up. The handshake gave birth to BBI. During the handshake, Uhuru Kenyatta did not invite Ruto. Raila Odinga did not invite the partners. But now they are here. The BBI cake has been made and placed on the table. Uhuru now coming with Gideon Moi and is also inviting the NASA principals. So now on the BBI, it's no longer between Raila and Uhuru. It's now all these gentlemen. So that's something which is also sending signals. Then let us go at something which is also very important. At number three, there was supposed to be joint tour between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga in NASA strongholds and Jubilee strongholds, especially after the handshake. They announced that after the handshake, they were going to tour the country. President Uhuru Kenyatta has accompanied Raila Odinga, or Raila Odinga has hosted President Uhuru Kenyatta in NASA strongholds, Mombasa, Kilifi, Kisii, Western, Nyanza, severally. Uhuru Kenyatta was supposed to host Raila Odinga in central Kenya, or the larger Mount Kenya region. Has it happened? It has not happened up to now. Why do you think it has not happened? There are people who are frustrating Raila Odinga in the larger Mount Kenya region. In fact, last week but one, Raila Odinga was supposed to attend an event in Embu, or it was to Embu. That event was frustrated. Why was it frustrated? Politically speaking, it makes sense to these people. After William Ruto entered into central Kenya and the larger Mount Kenya region and held that region, these people are not willing to allow Raila Odinga to go to central Kenya or larger Mount Kenya region and win the support there on his own. They want to own the voters there, and then probably in 2017 hand them over either to Raila Odinga, Gideon Moi, or whoever they want to hand it over to. So they've frustrated Raila Odinga. And because of those frustrations, Raila Odinga has always made attempts to go there. They've always told him, Ngoja, Nini. Raila Odinga made a decision some time back to go to central Kenya. His first trip was in Githurai. You know how that Githurai incident turned out. Raila Odinga's convoy was stoned. And of course, that's how it ended. Raila Odinga came back. After that point, then Raila Odinga then decided that the best thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my basics. I want to go back and consolidate my support base. And that's why you've seen Raila Odinga going to Kakamega, Raila Odinga going to West, to Nyanza, Raila Odinga going to Coast, Raila Odinga going to Masai Land, Raila Odinga going to Turkana, Raila Odinga going to Samburu. Basically, Raila Odinga is trying to consolidate his support base because now he's not very sure with the support from the larger Mount Kenya region. The moment Raila Odinga decided to consolidate his base, now these people around President Uhuru Kenyatta then decides that the best thing they can do is to now ask Mudavadi, ask Kalonzo, ask Weta, and ask Gideon Moi to also escalate their activities. And that's when you started now seeing these guys coming together, moving around. Let me tell you something which I've been saying on this platform. Around President Uhuru Kenyatta, there are 4 camps. There's the camp which believes that Raila Odinga should be supported. Then there's the second camp which believe that a compromise candidate should be Gideon Moi or Musalia Mudavadi. So this is the camp which is now doing all this dirty work Raila Odinga is currently facing. That's the honest truth. And in that thinking, by elevating Gideon Moi, because Gideon Moi is more proactive, Gideon Moi is currently walking around the country, is able to actually fund Mudavadi, is able to fund Kalonzo, and is able to fund Musalia Mudavadi. Moses Wetang'ula. And that's why it is acclaimed that the by-election in Matungu and Kabuchai were sponsored or were funded heavily by Gideon Moi. So those are the realities of life. Raila Odinga consolidating his base, then these guys now tells these guys, you must also go outside there. So these guys are currently outside there campaigning. As they campaign, something happened. In Msambweni, Raila Odinga lost. Why do you think Raila Odinga lost in Msambweni? Do you think ODM was not popular in that county? In that constituency? I'm going to go into that in details in my subsequent talk. Then there's something also happened today at number 4. The coronation of Justin Muturi as the Mount Kenya spokesperson. In Mount Kenya, people were already taking sides. There were those who were taking sides with William Ruto. Then there were those who were taking sides with Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga had Peter Kenneth family on his side, supported by the Muranga tycoons, the SK Masharias of this world, the tycoons from Muranga, including Maina Kamanda. And Peter Kenneth, was actually being viewed as a potential running mate or even deputy prime minister in Raila Odinga's camp. Now these guys, they now decide to bring Justin Muturi. Have we ever seen Justin Muturi happy with Raila Odinga? I don't think so. So basically the rise of Justin Muturi, and I'm going to do another video on this, is actually meant to frustrate Raila Odinga. They want to dim the light of Peter Kenneth. That's the honest truth. And it just happened today. Now let us go back to the wider scheme, the handshake. What was the objective of the handshake? In my considered opinion, the handshake was supposed to achieve several objectives. The first and the main objectives, which they have actually managed, was to force William Samoei Ruto out of Jubilee, or out of government, or out of their equation. Because William Ruto was promised the presidency. After these guys won the presidency, then the best thing would have been the president supporting his deputy. Even if his deputy was going astray, he ought to have told him, boss, go this direction, I'm going to support you, but relax, wacha tufanye kazi kwanza. Don't overshadow me. Of course, the deputy president also has his share of blames and weaknesses. So these guys ought to have told him. But Uhuru Kenyatta then decided to reach out to Raila Odinga. So the reaching out of Raila Odinga was to tell the deputy president that I can work with Raila Odinga. So the deputy president automatically rebelled. And the president and his men have successfully managed now to kick him out of Jubilee and out of government and out of their equation. Then the second phase now is to weaken Raila Amolo Odinga, his influence. The handshake has never been embraced, mostly by Raila Odinga supporters, even Uhuru Kenyatta supporters. Raila Odinga supporters believe that by supporting handshake, they are supporting Jubilee. And Jubilee has a lot of weaknesses. But anyway, they are supporting it. But there's a deliberate scheme to use that handshake to reduce the influence of Raila Amolo Odinga. And that's why I was explaining for you the Msambweni. In Msambweni, sources strongly believe, especially those within ODM camp, that the loss can be also attributed to the system. The system misled the ODM in choosing the wrong candidate. They also misled the ODM on the voting day. So ODM relaxed. After Ruto won in Msambweni, then Raila Odinga appeared to have lost control of the coastal region. Because politics is perception. It's now just taking the efforts of Raila Odinga to go back to those grounds to convince the people or everybody that is still very popular there. But the idea was very simple. Weaken Raila Odinga. Then after weakening Raila Odinga, then the next step is to elevate NASA principles. How do you elevate the NASA principles? There are 3 by-elections. These 3 by-elections are happening in the 3 counties of these NASA principles. There's a by-election in Bungoma, there's a by-election in Kakamega, then there's a by-election in Machakos, their stronghold. So Musalia Mudavadi takes credit for Matungu constituency. Moses Wetang'ula Masika takes credit for Kabushai. Then Kalonzo Musyoka is going to win in Makwiny. Basically, they are going to stamp their authority. So today, the strength of Raila Odinga, the influence of Raila Odinga in Western Kenya is being put to question. Deep down ODM, they strongly believe that the ODM candidate won in Matungu. But the deep state helped the Jubilee candidate. That's how you should read the statement which Junet Mohammed made yesterday. Junet Mohammed, have repeatedly said here, speaks for Raila Odinga. The statement he made yesterday, that he can't imagine a country where goons goes into a polling station, then get out a polling agent from March, take all the ballot boxes and nothing is happening. If you've been following Kipchumba Murkomen, Oscar Sudi and the rest, they're also alluding to the fact that ANC was actually supported by the government to win that seat. But what's the main plan? Gideon Moi. But is Gideon Moi a project for 2022? Personally, I strongly believe that Gideon Moi might not be the project for 2022. Because in 2022, if Gideon Moi is going to be given the ticket, then Raila Odinga is going to reunite with Ruto. These guys are not going to allow this. What they're doing currently is to elevate Gideon Moi's status so that even if he's appointed a prime minister, if he's appointed a deputy prime minister, nobody is going to question whether he worked hard for it or whether he was just rewarded. And personally, I still believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta's game plan could be to have a Mandela moment with Raila Odinga. Serve one term, uende, Gideon Moi achukue. But again, you can't rule out the possibility because politics is about perception, it's about numbers. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his team might have figured out that with the Gideon Moi getting some parts of Rift Valley, Musalia Mudavadi locking out Western, and Kalonzo Musyoka locking out to Kampani, then the only votes they need is the Central Kenya votes. And those Central Kenya votes, they're now creating Justin Muturi to go and take care of them. And then they can form that team. So which means even if Raila were to agree with Ruto, then they can still win. Whether that candidate is going to be Gideon Moi, I still don't know. But the truth of the matter is that Gideon Moi currently is enjoying a lot of support from the president, from the government. Tomorrow, Gideon Moi will be in Kiambu County as a chief guest in an event which the president was supposed to be the chief guest. So the president deliberately decided not to attend that event, but sent Gideon Moi to represent him. What do you think that is happening? Back to you guys. Back to you guys. I know most of you guys are also waiting to see the award which YouTube awarded us. I'm so happy for it. But just chill kidogo. It's coming up shortly. Maybe today or tomorrow. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. By the way, it will just be somewhere here. But I'm also planning to go to another studio. I'm setting up a studio somewhere. So if I go there, itakuwa. But for now, maybe the next 2 weeks or 3 or 1 month, itakuwa hapa.